All right, here's the deal. We did a video on first time setup on the Kodiak canvas cabin tent. It was just in the backyard. We actually didn't do it all correct. We just kind of threw it up just to see what it would look like. Well, now we are at a campground. We're spending the weekend camping, and I've got the Kodiak canvas tent set up in its entirety with the front awning and the side curtains. Now these open up. These are screened, so those will open up and give you kind of a screened in area. I put all the stakes in this time like it was supposed to have. So there it is in its entirety, set up correctly. Now the big kicker is we just got it set up about 20 minutes ago, just starting to get stuff out of the truck. And I don't know if you can see, but those clouds are very dark, and it is not nighttime. It's about 5 o'clock in the evening in July, or else late June. So there's a storm a brewing. Just looked at the radar. In fact, I just heard thunder. So it looks like we're going to get an opportunity to test this thing out in rain. Now, not necessarily what I wanted to do, but it looks like it's what we're going to do. Now this side here has got a door, and that opens up and you can put that awning up also. We've chosen not to. The girls are still dragging stuff in the tent. So there's my daughter. So this is the awning space, little table in here. Like I said, we're just now kind of dragging stuff in. And then this. So there's a queen size air mattress and 2 twins. Not a ton of room for 4 of us, but it'll work out fine. Enough room to walk. It's 7.5 foot tall at the peak, and it looks like everything is set up like it should be. So right now we're just preparing for rain, getting stuff in our little what do you call this thing? Awning area? Awning, that's it. Canopy awning thing, because the rain's a-coming. Got the kayaks. My daughter's fiance, Zach, he brought his kayaks. So we went, here's my goofy little trailer. So we used this last year. That's a good tent. I think it's a Walmart special. And it served the purpose, but we went from that. The thing we hated about this is the dome. You can't stand up unless you're in the middle. But at least with the cabin style tent, you've got a lot more headroom. So throughout the course of this weekend, I am going to do little updates on the Kodiak canvas cabin tent with the front awning, and do about a 3 or 4 day video on how it went. And it looks like we get to try out rain first thing. So day 1, let's see how it goes. So we're in our little front part of our tent, and it's pouring down rain. And we are dry. We're trying to figure this part out though, because water is right there, and then I can pour it off. So I need to figure out how to make that not do that. But we're dry. Yeah. So this ain't so bad, right? It could be worse. We could be wet and cold. So we've got little fans and little lights and a little table, because it's all right to be a little bitty.
It needs to stop raining so we can make supper.
And apparently she's hungry and we need to make supper. But this is a pretty good deal. So we're gonna wait out this storm, and then what are we having for supper? SpaghettiOs. Heck yes. All American SpaghettiOs, camping. Midwestern style. Storm in our new tent. And as you can see, there is a lot of water right there. But, here, let me wipe you off. There. But this thing did really good. No rain came in through the canvas. We did see some drippage coming from the edges, but that's all right. Right on the very edges there was little drips, but everything was contained. A little bit came down the pole, but that's to be expected. God, this thing did awesome. I gotta figure out how to make it a little tighter though, because there's water that hangs out down here. My wife checked the inside of the tent numerous times. Is everything good?
Yes. I'm getting there.
And it is dry inside. So this thing did absolutely fantastic. So very first time setting up the Kodiak at a campground, very first rainstorm, big fat thumbs up. It did great. Love it. So day 2 in the Kodiak canvas cabin tent with the front awning thing. Slept good last night. It after all that rain, it stayed dry. Everything on the inside was dry. The tent held up fantastic. What we did learn is we were getting rain right here pooling up. We didn't realize that these were here. So what these little tabs are for is to tie them down, and then you don't have that problem. So just one of those discoveries that we figured out after the fact. And now they're not calling for any rain, so we're not going to worry about it this trip. So again, day 2 in the Kodiak canvas cabin tent with the front awning was spectacular. We had some fans going in it last night, kept the air moving. It didn't get humid to where the moisture was on like the ceiling of the tent. But with a white roof, as soon as it was daylight, buddy, it was bright inside. So if you don't like getting up early and you want it to be dark, that might be a challenge. But boy, the tent did great. So my campers seem to all be happy. So if you can have a group of happy campers, then that's a good thing. So now what they're doing is preparing to do some marshmallows over the open fire. So I have one youngster with a knife making sticks. They wanted those, what do you call those things? Hot dog sticks? Roasters that you buy at like Suckmart. And I told them no, we're gonna shave a stick. So we're shaving sticks.
No one's letting me shave.
Just like they did back in the pioneer days.
No.
So what?
I said no one's letting me shave my stick, and he asked me if I wanted to, and they both said no in unison. Rude.
So they won't let you play with knives?
No.
Good choice. So we're gonna have another good night of camping, making marshmallows and whatever campers do. So the purpose of this is to evaluate the tent, and the tent has done fantastic. So no complaints, no problems. Was incredibly impressed with how it did under what I would consider very strong winds and rain last night. It's been dry all day today, so the tent's dried out, our stuff's dried out. We're ready to have a good evening. So we'll catch up with you on day 3. So today, with our camping trip, evaluating the Kodiak canvas cabin tent, my daughter is being debugified. So she's getting some kind of, what are we putting on her?
Young Living
Insect Repellent. Not a sponsor, but they should be.
Yes.
They should be.
Also, as incredible as Dr. Pepper is, and its 23 flavors, today is my lovely bride and I's 23rd wedding anniversary. So nobody really cares but us, but it's a good deal.
We do. We're very happy.
And our offspring are very proud of us. So, as for our tent, it has done above expectations. I think we love it. It
Yes.
does a good job. I still revert back to the first night we were here and it poured down rain on us and it didn't get one drop of water inside. The only water that we dealt with was the water that was coming on the ground under our feet. It sleeps well. It stays dry. It does not get condensation on the inside of it. I love the fact that at the peak it's 7 foot 5 inches. And being 5 foot 10 inches, that gives plenty of room to stand up and dress and all that sort of thing. In fact, I've got a lantern hanging off of the roof, the ceiling, and the one inside the tent is, I'm the only one that can reach it. So, what day are we on? Day 3? Friday,
Yes.
Saturday, Sunday. Today's Sunday.
We slept in it 2 nights.
So we've slept in it 2 nights. One night was during a monsoon. And it's done fantastic. So we've got a queen size air mattress and 2 twin size air mattresses for the girls and our junk in there,
Yeah.
and there's still room to move.
Actually, I am surprised.
So-
We have all of our junk in there.
I have had many people walk by and comment and compliment the tent. They kind of dig the fact that it's got the awning on the front. So we have had one day of bad rain, one day of good weather, hot. Well, hot for camping. It was getting in the 90s. And today is a beautiful day. It's early. I'm getting ready to cook some breakfast. It's already in the 70s. The forecast is calling for high 80s, low 90s. And we're set. We're going to maybe get the kayaks out today, do a little fishing. Me and Austin did a little fishing this morning. He did good, I didn't. But I'm not a fisherman. And that's what the boys are sleeping in, our old tent. And it works pretty good too. But the Kodiak canvas cabin tent, though expensive, though heavy, I'm very happy with our investment. I think for car camping and that sort of thing, it is absolutely ideal. No way you're going to backpack this thing anywhere. But it's a good one. So we'll do an update maybe a little later. So you guys got any wisdom to add to our camping experience?
No.
Nothing? All right, well, with that, I guess we'll just call it quits. We're finishing up our 4-day camping trip with our new Kodiak canvas tent. And I can say that this is potentially the best tent that I've ever used. It survived a pretty good rainstorm on Friday, which I know I've said over and over, but I'm still impressed. It stays tight. I mean, when you put this thing up, it stays. It's strong. It holds true. We're getting ready to take the side pieces off of the front part of it. But you can have it with just the awning, and you don't have to put the side pieces up, which is kind of cool. But it did provide extra space. At night with the side curtains on, we had a table and we'd put our chairs and things like that in here. Things that we didn't want to get wet, but also things that we wanted to keep secure. So it was kind of nice. It also served as a really good, because it's all enclosed, it served as a really good open dressing area too. So I was camping with 3 girls, and when they were in the tent, I could slip out here and change clothes or whatever, and I had room to move instead of trying to stumble around the air mattresses. Let's see, what else? Strong, heavy zippers. I really like that they put these ropes on them. It's not just some nylon little tab, it's a rope. The zippers are big and heavy. It has the little pieces that hang down so you can put your gear and things like that in it, cell phones. It's got little storage pockets. The flooring on this is absolutely phenomenal. It's such a heavy gauge rubberized type flooring. It's not that cheap crackly rice paper stuff. Perfectly dry the whole time. No leaks. Again, with that storm we had, I was surprised. I was kind of wondering how it was going to do it. It did great. So There's an exit there that goes into the shelter area. What do you call that thing? I don't know. And then there's another side door here. So the girls were coming in and out of this door a lot because their beds were on either side of the tent. My wife and I's air mattress was here. Plenty of room. We had a queen size air mattress and 2 twin size, and we had walkways. So it did very, very good. We did notice we're getting some staining from the trees and the junk that fell off of them, but the instructions say that we can take water and a cloth and clean it. So not overly worried about it because it's going to get dirty eventually anyways, probably when I go to fold this thing up. But strong. I guess it all just boils down to what your needs are. If you need something that's quick and easy to put up, this wouldn't be the tent that you would want, because it's not quick and it's not super easy. But while camping for multiple days with a family, I want a tent that's going to be strong. I want a tent that's going to be as safe as possible. I want one that if the weather does get kind of crazy, that it's going to hold up. So in terms of structure, this is, again, one of the strongest tents I've ever been in. It's got 1-inch steel poles, and you can feel it. You can feel that it's strong. Again, for backpacking or things like that, this would not even be close to an option. But for family camping, car camping, campground camping, multiple day camping, this is an outstanding choice. You get what you pay for. I believe that wholeheartedly in a lot of things. There's a big horse fly in here. Get out. But you get what you pay for, and you pay a little bit for this, but you get what you pay for. So I anticipate that this will be a tent that we will have in our family for many years to come. I hope to use it over and over and over again. It is a 2-person setup, and it's going to be a 2-person teardown too. I got this horsefly flying around in here. I'm afraid it's going to try to kill me. But I think that's the bottom line. It all boils down to what you want and what you're going to use it for and what your needs are. Again, for a family with young kids or things like that, oh boy, this is just a fantastic investment. And that's what it is. It's an investment. This is not a $150 tent from Walmart or Meijer or places like that. This is a good quality product that's going to last you a long time. So my wife and I and my kids, we enjoyed our weekend. We enjoyed our tent. And for us, this is about as good as it gets in terms of tent camping. So for us, big thumbs up to Kodiak Canvas tents. This one is the cabin style tent with the front awning, and it also has the surround that goes all the way around. You can also get the surround that's just screen. I really like this because it gives you, again, another area of seclusion and storage. So what an awesome tent. I know that wasn't one of those in-depth technical reviews, but I just wanted to do one that was practical. One that just showed a family that bought a tent, took it out camping, and how did they like it. So that was what my review was all about, and I'm pretty anxious to get this thing out and use it again. So there you go. Midwest Outdoor Adventures gives Kodiak Canvas tents a huge thumbs up, and would strongly encourage someone looking for a good quality investment to put into a tent to consider the Kodiak Canvas tents. They've got a lot of different styles and varieties on what you can purchase. We chose this one because of the awning in the front. So there you go. As we always say, also, the only way to have a really cool outdoor adventure is to get out. So we encourage you, get out, whether it's with one of these tents or this type of equipment or not. The bottom line is that you get out and enjoy nature. So get out.